Bonjour Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today, which is the first video we have done in quite a while. But welcome. I know things look a little bit different in the room. We've got a nice little display at the back, which we kind of had before, but I've added to it, and I'm starting to get more and more replicas on the wall. You can kind of see, if I get out of the way, we're getting a nice little pistol zone at the top there, because I've been going through making more of those IKEA pegboard mounty thingies and whatnot. So yeah, really happy with those. It's looking quite nice, and it's also just handy because it means I can go and grab stuff and you know, to work on it, to create parts for, or just to have a little look at, because sometimes when you look at stuff you get cool ideas and whatnot. But first things first, thank you very much to all of my subscribers, viewers and Patreon members. If you are watching and you're not subscribed, hit that big old subscribe button, because you're going to love the content. Welcome if you're new here. You're beautiful and very handsome and incredibly lovely as well. Patreons, of course, thank you very much for all of your support. Couldn't be doing this without you. So this video goes out to all my lovely patrons. Thank you very much. Now, what is today? What is today's video, you may be thinking to yourselves? Well, as I am sorting out the wall at the top there and kind of getting everything out on display which I need to get out on display, I thought to myself, which replicas have I got on my shelf which I haven't yet done a video on? And that is when I came to the decision today to do a cheeky little video on this, the Action Army AAP01C, or more commonly known as the Shinobi. Now, Shinobis are ninjas, I think, like very fancy ninjas from the Asia region. So I guess this is the pistol made for ninjas. So it comes in this nice little brown box here, Action Army. Not sponsored, by the way. Purchased this with my own hard-earned monies, but you know, if you want to get one, then feel free, go ahead and get one. It comes in this cardboard box here. Not really anything too fanciful on it, so let's just kind of crack it out and then see what we get inside, because we can see a cool picture here already of what that pistol looks like, and here we go inside. We even have an energy test report of what joulage, or the max joulage it gets. So apparently it's at 0.94 joules, which is really good for in the UK, as our limits are 1.14 joules for this type of replica. Remember, YouTube, this is a toy. It is a toy. It is only a toy. And of course, with it being so small, as we can see, it is quite short. So that means the inner barrel is going to be very, very short as well. And especially on something which is like a gas replica, the length of the barrel is very integral in kind of dictating the overall power of it. Like, for example, with the Novrich SSP5, the 6-inch one, that's a powerful boy. I know, because I got hit in the face and it hurt quite a bit.
We got Airsoft players getting shot in the eye.
But because it's got that longer barrel built into it, and it's the same with the Mark 23, when you upgrade that and you put a longer barrel into it, you get more power out of it as a result. And with this little thing having such a short, tiny little inner barrel, that will reduce the overall power of this little baby. However, if you're going to be using something like this, you want it more for the small size, for the small stature, for the concealability, and you're not going to be using it for any like mad, insane ranges. So, you know, the power thing there isn't really something I'm really concerning myself about. Now, being an AAP, it has got a full kind of like solid top upper receiver there. You do have a slide, which is this little back bit here. So every time you pull the trigger and it cycles, this little back bit pops out and everything else stays still. Now, as a sniper, you may think, oh, that's going to be good because it's going to be quiet because there's not a lot of moving parts. But this thing is still a loud boy. Like, it's still got that moving slide bit at the back there. So it's still a noisy boy. And, you know, with it being like GBB, if you put a suppressor on it, although you need to find a way to put a suppressor on it. But I wouldn't worry about that too much, because there's so many parts out there for AAPs that you could either swap the whole upper receiver, or maybe there's just like a bit at the front here you could swap to add a thread on there, so you could put a suppressor on it. The cool thing about the AAP though is because it's only this back bit that moves, there's not a huge amount of moving parts, which means it's quite consistent in its shooting. And that's why loads of people do like to make carbine kits and run these with carbine kits as well. Actually, for example, if I come up here, I can get my original AAP down, because I actually do have the official carbine kit installed on it. Unfortunately, this AAP has seen better days. I need a new upper receiver. And I do need to get a new I probably just need to buy a new one actually to have as my regular AAP. And you know what? It would be nice to have one to go hand in hand with the Shinobi should I choose to. But the great thing about the AAP is because it is so kind of non-moving here, it does make it consistent at those longer ranges or those mid to longer ranges. So it makes sense to run it like a carbine, putting a stock on the end, adding a foregrip on the end, and then going out and then just kind of like, you know, having a really good time with it. In fact, this thing, I did actually run before in the past with a drum mag in there and ran 0.4 gram BBs and used it like a DMR, and it was absolutely nutty. In fact, I made a gameplay on it, and I'll put the gameplay link here so then you can go and watch that gameplay, because that gameplay was absolutely insane. I decided to take out my AAP, which now looks like this. Like I was braining people from about 60 meters away. Hey. Get wrecked, son. You got killed by a pistol. There was a fire at the site when I made that gameplay. The site set on fire.
Fuck. Someone use this!
Yeah. That happened. Unfortunately, because of the different end bit here to the standard AAP, you can't use the Project Airsoft front foregrip railie thing here that we've got on this one here with one of the grenade strikers too. In case the top falls off your grenade and you want to do your grenade, you can't use that on the Shinobi. So this may be something I'll look at for this one to make some kind of like cool front foregrippy thing. But this is the Shinobi here. You get one magazine with it in the box. It is a green gas magazine, which we can pop inside the Shinobi just like that. Cock it as you would do normally, as there's no BBs inside. We do the little bit there, the little slide release, and then we're all ready to go and to pop a couple of shots off. Now I am going to double check to make sure there isn't anything in here by shooting it into my little homemade chrono station thing here. So I'll do that. And we are nice and safe. And the cool thing I've just literally realized there is the ambidextrous slide release. So if you're a left-handed player, you're not forced to only doing the slide release on your right hand like this. Is that the same with this one here? Yeah, that's got the ambidextrous slide release, but has the other... No, like the Glock up there doesn't have... I've got the SSP-18 up there, and I've got the SSP-5 4.3, which I'm looking at, and neither of those have got an ambidextrous slide release. So that's something which I didn't realize before, and that is really cool. So if you are left-handed, or let's say you like to be an ambi shooter and swap around like this, especially for, you know, if you are running it as a carbine, then having the ability to do the slide release on both sides is very, very cool to have. So yeah, AAP or Action Army even, nice decision on the design there. That is really cool. So let's do a couple more shots so you can kind of like hear what it sounds like, because it is safe now. We did check that there was no BBs in there. It's louder than I would have thought it to have been, and this literally just has green gas in there. But then this bottle of green gas which I'm using has been in this office, and it does get quite warm in here because I've got some 3D printers going in the background. So maybe it's just kind of like more expandy. Oh, there we go, and that's that magazine empty. But there is a party trick on the Shinobi as well, and to do that I need to refill this magazine with gas, and in order to do that I have a little cool clevery thing here to show you as well. This is a little mobile green gas like filler thingy you can get from the guys at Novrich, and essentially you've got your little green gas filler there. So you would take your big old bottle of gas, you fill this up from the bottom like so, and then you can take this out in the field with you, and it's just like, you know, the kind of same size as a grenade, and then you can use this to refill your gas magazines while you're out in the field. Isn't that a clevery thing? So let's just use it now. We're going to use this just to refill our AAP magazine. Off the top of my head, I can't remember how many fills you get from this in magazines. I think it's like at least 2 or 3. There we go. So that is filled up there. I'm going to put the cap on so I don't accidentally let some gas out. We'll pop this in here, and then we're ready to go again. So yeah, very cool. If you want one of these, there's a link in the description with all of my cool like affiliate stuff on there as well. So you'll be supporting the channel, which I do appreciate very, very muchly. But the party piece, we haven't mentioned the party piece yet. On the back of the slide here, if I do a little mega zoom, we can see we've got this little S and F here. Now this isn't safe and fire, this is semi and full auto, and this is much better than the original AAP had it, because for the original AAP, in order to change the firing mode, you had to come out here, you had to pull this out, and there was a really difficult little switch that you had to do with your finger, and it was all kinds of awkward. In fact, that was pretty much the first thing that people who made custom parts changed on the AAP. They made kits for that to make it so you didn't have to do it that way, and now by stock that's how it is, which is great. So all you do is you flick this switch across like that to full auto, and now when we fire isn't that cool? It is absolutely awesome, that. And there you go, there's the magazine out of gas there again as well. So you don't really, the magazines, I mean, there's tons of different magazines you can get out there. You can run CO2 in there if you wanted to. I prefer to, well actually I really do like CO2. I don't have a ton of CO2 magazines, but I did do a video a while ago which is like a instant upgrade to any pistol, use CO2 mags. But if you like green gas is easy to do. You just get a bottle, and if you do get these little refiller things as well, which is really handy, you can refill them out in the field. Actually, we don't need to refill this with gas. We can just come in here and, oh. There we go. Is that it? Or did I not have that filled up with gas? Oh no, there we go. it's going again. Wicked, cool. So yeah, that is the Action Army Shinobi. You do have a safety button on the front here as well. If I come up here, you've got the safety button just here. So if you don't want to be shooting anything, now the trigger is locked. It does also have a trigger safety too as well. So if I unlock that, if I press the trigger on the side, it won't shoot. You see that? It's not shooting there. You have to press this little bit in as well, and then it will fire. Like that, there you go. So you do have two different safety options available on here too. So if you really don't want to fire in the safe zone, which nobody should be firing in the safe zone anyway, then you'll be perfectly fine. Also, maintenance with this pistol is pretty easy too. If I take the magazine out there, all we do is press this button at the back, lifts the front up forward, and that is the upper receiver off, and then you've got the lower receiver here as well. If you want to change your hop, you've got your little rollers here. So do it one way to go forward, do it one way to go backwards. Although if you want to as well, you can get the Hadron Loki, I think it's called, the Loki, which is a brand new TDC unit that goes in here. It's a brand new hop unit that goes in here and allows you to change the hop using a TDC on the top of the pistol, which is an absolute must-have. Personally, I don't have that, but I do need it. Hadron, please send me one. I'll do a video on it, and it will just make your life so much easier. I use TDCs on my SSG-10 A1 sniper rifle, and oh my days, it makes life infinitely better. So yeah, TDCs bring joy to everyone who touches them. Genuinely, use TDCs when you can. Apart from that, like, there's not really too much of a downside I've found from AAPs before in the past. Although on my first one, I did have an issue with this thing here. I think it's called like the knocker. Like my one snapped off and broke, so I had to get my friend to replace that for me because I just didn't have the time. Not that I couldn't do it. I didn't have the time. By the way, shout out to Smalls Airsoft Tech. Thank you very much for doing that, buddy. I love you very much. I appreciate the work that you do. So apart from like that one issue that I had on my original AAP, it's lightweight, it's super cheap as well. Like the Shinobi, if I remember correctly, is only like 90 quid, something like that, 80, 90 quid. So it is nice and cheap. It's all plastic as well, so it's nice and lightweight, and it means it kind of like bends before it breaks, so that's good. And generally speaking, spare parts are pretty cheap too. So there's a lot of benefits, there's a lot of plus sides to getting the Shinobi Assassin, the AAP01C Assassin pistol. Yeah, oh look, actually look, it says Assassin there on the box, and that's because, you know, Shinobis are kind of like Asian assassins. So yeah, I mean, I was very, very, very clever with my brain thinking about that, so that's very good to see. So yeah, I mean, who would I recommend this for? A new player to Airsoft? Not really, no, but that's just because I don't recommend a pistol to any new players that come into the airsoft world. People who like to tech, would I recommend it to people who like to tech? I would say yes, just because there is such a huge sub-community within Airsoft that focus on the AAP. There's just an infinite amount of parts out there, and there's new ones coming out every day. So if you like to tinker, you like to upgrade, you like to make your own replicas your own, then yeah, it's very good for you. The Airsoft Pro. Would I recommend this to the Airsoft Pro? Well, generally speaking, I'd say probably yes, just because it works out of the box. There's not really any tinkering you have to do. Make sure you do have the hop on a little bit when you're test firing though, because otherwise BBs will just roll out the end of the barrel and you'll think it's broken and it's not. And genuinely, they get so many customer queries about that happening. So put on the hop a little bit. So pro players, I would say, yeah, it's fine for if you just want something for short range engages. You just want to whip it out, do a bit of a spray down. Especially if you are a ghillie sniper, it can be really good for that because you just take it out, spray down, put it back away. It's short, it's small, it's low profile, so it's not really going to get out of the way. Would I recommend it to your average Airsoft player? Again, yeah, I feel like I would do, just because it does work out of the box. It's the ergonomics are there, it's easy to use, and there is some really easy upgrade paths as well. Again, with the Hadron low-key TDC unit, that just makes everything infinitely better. Although for the Shinobi, I'm not too sure on how that works, because I think for the standard AAP, the Shinobi comes with a top rail that goes all the way across the top there, and then you've got a little twiddly-deedly thing here that you use. And with the Shinobi, this rail is actually pre-baked onto the upper receiver, so you'd probably have to drill a hole into this, although they may have figured that out at Hadron, and then you kind of get a guide included in where to drill the hole. I don't know, I'm not that up to date, I'm not that versed, but yeah, generally speaking, the AAP is a really fun platform. There's tons of spare parts available, tons of upgrades available for it too. It looks good, it's lightweight, and more importantly, it does what you want it to do as well. So yeah, I do recommend that. It's a very good option for you. And with that being done, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. I would like to get this out in the field one day and have a little bit of a play with it. For now though, this and my original AAP, they now get to go on their places on the wall. So AAP with the carbine kit, and then the Shinobi next to it like that. Look at that, a nice little, happy little family up on the wall over there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, comment below what you think, if you think my thoughts are incorrect, or if you've got some additional thoughts you would like our community to see and share. Let us know in the comments below. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you next time.